Hi everyone, welcome to Kellogg Garden's YouTube channel. I'm Kim, and today I'm going to show you how you can protect your garden from the extreme heat. But first, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so anytime that Kellogg has a gardening video like this, you'll be informed. I never thought I would be talking about how to protect your garden from the extreme heat, being that we are about 60 miles southwest of Seattle, Washington, and we're in gardening zone 8B. We really don't get too many days with temperatures over 90 degrees. So when we had our big heat wave at the end of June, I frantically tried to do some research and figure out how I was going to protect all the plants that aren't used to that extreme heat. When plants become stressed by the heat, they often show many different signs. Their leaves can start wilting from the loss of water. They can start dropping their leaves. Many plants will actually shed some of their foliage to save water. Leaves can turn yellow or brown. Cool season crops can start bolting. And vegetable crops can have difficulty producing in the excessive heat. Make sure you water early in the morning before the sun shines directly on your garden. You want to make sure that you're not risking the water evaporating and not hitting the plant roots, because that can cause your plants to burn. The most efficient way to water your garden is by using soaker or irrigation hoses, and this is because they slowly bring the water to the plant's roots before evaporating. Now, we use a drip system in our garden, and this has been customized to meet our specific needs, and we can add micro sprinklers or weep lines as needed. It's really important not to spray your plant leaves with water during the middle of the day. The water droplets can act as a magnifier to the sun, causing even more intensive heat, and it will damage them very quickly. There is such a thing as overwatering your plants. If you're not sure if your plant needs water or not, test the soil before you water by sticking your finger about an inch into the ground or container to see how moist it is. A plant can have enough water and still wilt from the hot sun. Don't water it unless the soil is dry. I think the hardest thing for me was knowing that really delicate balance between overwatering and not watering enough. These are brand new annuals that I got a couple days before we had that extensive heat, and as you can tell, some of the leaves were fried from getting too much heat, and then I overwatered. If you stick your finger in there, it's completely overwatered, and I haven't watered for days. So you just have to be really, really careful of these poor little sensitive plants that don't have established roots yet. Make sure you don't mow the lawn during a heat wave. Your lawn might not look as nice as you want it to, but keeping that lawn at least 3 inches long can add shade to the grass, which will retain the moisture in the soil. One of the most important things that you can do to protect your most vulnerable and young plants is providing shade for them. You can use shade cloth, which is a piece of fabric used in gardens to protect plants from too much sunlight. This is actually my very favorite thing now and has really saved my garden. I learned about this amazing product just a few weeks before our triple-day heat wave. You can use other things to shade your plants as well. If the shade cloth isn't available to you, umbrellas work really well to shade your plants. I found that the tilted umbrellas were the best, but I still had to move the umbrella as the sun was moving throughout the day. Sailcloth is another alternative, as well as just using bed sheets, old tablecloths, towels, basically anything that you can find to provide shade for your plants so the leaves don't start burning. If your only option is a dark cloth, keep it several inches above or away from the plants. They tend to absorb the heat and burn the foliage that's touching it. Move your containers out of the sun when you have that extreme heat, if you can. Try to move them in the shade. Containers tend to dry out faster, so they're going to need to be watered more often than your other garden plants. And make sure you increase the amount of water you give to the container in hot temperatures so the soil doesn't dry out. I always worry about this planter right here because you really should avoid planting flowers and plants in the dark colored containers. They absorb the heat more than the lighter colors, and they actually can burn the plant's roots. So you can try putting potted plants inside other larger pots with good drainage for more shade and insulation. It is so tempting to want to weed or dig a plant out here and there, but it's really, really important to keep the soil alone during the hot temperatures because you can release the trapped water if you start digging and weeding the garden beds. Adding mulch to the garden beds is such a benefit to the garden, especially during the extreme summer heat. It protects the soil from direct sun exposure, helps reduce the evaporation of soil moisture, and maintains a more consistent soil temperature. Thank you so much for following along today. If you liked what you saw, please tap the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section as well. Until next time, happy gardening!